So the way we get started with a new client is always the same. We do a discovery, and a discovery in a medical sense is like an MRI. And the reason that's so important to us is a lot of folks that do somewhat similar work to us, they have a standard methodology. They always work on the same things. And our belief is if those things don't need fixing, why would you take time, energy, and your client's money to work on things that are already going well? So the MRI really directs us to what needs attention, what's most important in the sequencing, and then where can we add the most value in the most timely manner. So the way that we sequence our work is coming out of the discovery. We're going to prioritize both the strategic and the tactical. And the reason that's so important to us is if you just focus on the strategic, then it becomes visionary and inspiring, but you have no roadmap to make it reality. If you just focus on the tactical, then you can make short-term, very incremental progress, but it's not anchored to anything larger. And so it tends to fall off and it doesn't gain momentum. So the magic or the real marriage that lasts is coming up with a strategy that's authentic to the client and then coming up with a very specific plan of action that the client can execute on. And if they want our help, then we're available. And those two together systematically produce the best results. Once we've completed that holistic discovery process, now our engagement flows organically out of that because the issues and the opportunities that we discovered in the discovery are the very things that we itemize to our client that we recommend that they address. And that becomes our roadmap for going forward. And it really puts the relationship in a really good position because the client understands how we got to that conclusion. They've already vetted the priority and they've already given us their buy-in that those are the same things that are priorities to them, which become our priorities in the process. So there's times when we've wrapped up our engagement, and again, our job is not to create a permanent role with the firm. We want to get in, do our work, and then move on to the next client, and that's how our agreement's structured. But organically, what's happened over the years is the client has come to us towards the end of the engagement and said, Blaine or whoever the team member is, so much good has happened here. We want there to be continuity. We don't want to lose what we've started here. Would you be willing to meet with us on a quarterly basis and just do a check-in? And so that moves to the advisory phase, and there's a lot of flexibility to it. We really marry that to the sequencing and the timing that works for the client. So one of the real advantages to our business model is the incredible symmetry between a high-quality financial advisor and their approach and our approach. For instance, a high-quality financial advisor is going to do a comprehensive financial plan. They're going to understand how all of the financial components of a person's world fit together, from estate planning to budgeting to investment and so on. And so we take that exact same mentality and look holistically. We go through the discovery process, so we have vetted what's really going on. We define where that client wants to go, and then what are the steps to get there. So our process and our communication is very relatable to a like-minded advisor. They can understand the logic of it, they can understand the sequence, and they are very grateful that the value they offer their clients, they're finding in their working relationship with us, just from a different vantage point. So ultimate success for us with a client is the client's ability to see the vision and the mission that's in their heart come to fruition. And there's a lot of nuances to that. There's a lot of complexity because that's going to show up in their own personal fulfillment in their work. It's going to show up in their team and how well their team functions. And ultimately, it should show up in their client experience, how they're building relationships, how they're serving clients, how they measure success there. And then also from the component of growth, because we believe everything that's healthy grows. If you go out into nature, how do you know something's not healthy? It's not growing anymore. And either you're growing or you're dying or decaying. And so growth is an excellent metric. It's Probably the best metric as to the overall health of the firm